Counting on up. Can still win it out here, by the way. St. Clair Saints are spawning in over by the construction site. And Illini Blue are also dedicating PMoney to try to rotate on over to P1 to start throwing down so that way they can shut down the rotation. Great drop shot right there on a Turk Star. Big kill to soon follow. Illini Blue are going to start taking the lead, and they are only 26 seconds away from winning this entire hard point. Now down to 10. Still got to hit it. PMoney catching multiple players of St. Clair Saints with the pants down. 4 seconds left. 3 now, and no members are going to be able to get there anytime soon for St. Clair Saints. PMoney running rampant, 250 to 233. We are going to go to game number 5. We're going to stay on Ramaza for it, but by God, does Illini Blue look good.
And I mean...
Yes, hardpoint, let's go. Location secured. Hardpoint contested. Enemy's got the hardpoint. Hardpoint secured.
We're dead.
Go on, Ben.
Damn, that's a GG. Someone get him. Just under. Here, I'm in.
Nice. We're dead.
Scored the victory. Let's have another.
Whoever's the host, can you dedicate server net, please?
It's already a dead.
Really?
I'm in their spawn.
Damn, we're still spawning
Hardpoint
P3.
lost.
I'll come back there with you.
We got 2 up.
One's in P2, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Oh no, one in J out.
There's 2 on hill, 2 on hill,
Back
2 on
left
hill.
side. Back left side.
Got P2? Back P2?
Yeah, control the
fine,
hardpoint.
Good spawn though. Good spawn. We got tracks.
Stand by to move.
Oh, he's back left, truck.
Oh my God, Big Bird. My bad, bro.
Two guy water, one
I
water,
thought
one
you
water.
were an animal.
Yeah, someone get on
Take
me.
the hardpoint.
You're all good.
I ran out of ammo, fuck.
Coming tracks from P3.
One more track, one more track.
We've got control.
One water weak, one water weak.
Top turn.
Water down. Just punning cool.
Oh, fuck 4 over there.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy, Mr.kiddragon, back here with episode 13 of the Gauntlet. I'm with my boy, CCLPMoney, you know what I'm saying? Or by his actual name, Grant. Yeah, he's another Illini player, and brought him on the show, man. And as you can tell from the last episode, things with Illini players get kind of spicy, so I mean, why not bring more on the show, you know what I'm saying? All right, so introduce yourself, Mr. Grant.
Hey guys, my gamertag CCLPMoney. I played for Illini Blue this past season. Unfortunately, couldn't pull out the miracle run to make it to playoffs, but I'm looking forward to drop some information. I know that a lot of people are looking forward to, so let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Mr. PMoney, or I don't even know how to like address you this, like CCLPMoney or like Grant, or like how would you like to be addressed?
Call me Grant, PMoney, either. I don't really have a preference.
I'll call you PMoney. You know what I'm saying? That sounds kind of cool, right?
I'm down with it, yeah.
So, PMoney, like, tell me how you got, introduced to playing competitive COD. You know what I'm saying? And like how that all came about.
So that actually started this past year with the CCL season. It was it's kind of a roller coaster going on to the team. Eddie actually put out a random Facebook post looking for players because they had a recent roster incident after the first week of the season where they needed a drop Zaid. And I answered the Facebook post, and I find myself in scrims 2 days later, and kind of just worked my way throughout the team since.
That's
got
crazy.
thrown to the wolves I kind of got thrown to the wolves at first. Just had to stick and hill. I was not used to the timings of competitive COD, and this was the game that first introduced me to competitive COD. Fortunately, it's not the best one, but
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed my first competitive experience.
Okay. So all off a Facebook post. Yo, that's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a small world, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. Wait, so did you know Eddie prior to that? Or
No, I actually didn't. That's how I first met him, through Facebook.
what? Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
how was your season on Line I Blue? How that? I understand like some things went down at the end of the season, and then but keep me up to speed with like how the team went from like beginning of the season to like end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like how did y'all fare in the beginning? First weeks of matches, and then how did y'all fare to going toward the end?
Yeah, definitely. So we actually started off the first week that I didn't play in. They played Purdue and I believe Uni, which they lost to,
Yeah.
which I would have felt confident during the season going up against Uni, but
Yeah.
I don't think we would have been able to pull it out against Purdue. And then first when I joined, we didn't face many of the top tier teams in our division. So we were
Mm,
able to pull out a lot of dubs, regardless of our team chemistry going into things.
yeah.
And like I said, I was not used to the timings of competitive COD yet, and we weren't that cohesive as a team. So we were pretty much just going off gun skill and strats that came up on the fly. And luckily, we were able to pull that out thanks to Eddie and Oliver pulling out some really consistent performances throughout the season.
All right. Damn. Uh,
And then, and then obviously, as we progressed through the season, we got a lot tighter in hardpoint. Our hardpoint was definitely our most consistent game mode.
yeah.
Um, our dom, we had a few faults in, but we were pretty rock solid on Petro, which we started our reverse sweep against St. Clair on stream, which I'll always that was a great series. All the
Yeah.
vibes were high during that series.
Hey.
Uh, yeah, it was a pretty kind of a bittersweet end of the season. We were trying to make the miracle run in order to make playoffs. Uh, Unfortunately, we choked very hard against Liberty Red.
Yeah.
We beat them first map on Petro by about like 30 points. Even like at the time, we were nowhere near the top teams in our division.
Yeah.
Towards the end, we started to practice more. Actually, we practiced with the Orange team, and
Ooh.
everything was starting to come together at that point. We actually started to take maps off of Orange, and we started splitting scrims with Orange. So it was
Damn.
kind of a reality check for them, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
That B team catching up, brother.
Yeah, we were catching up to them in respawn towards the end of the season, which was nice to see.
So you guys have beef with St. Clair, but was there any other teams that may have had beef with during the season? Like that y'all just had a match in particular that was like, oh, this technicality, and then it became like an argument spiraled on Twitter or something like that, or was it just St. Clair?
Not through me personally, maybe past engagements between players on the team might have spiraled from something.
Yeah.
I guess the only other team that gave us a lot of trouble and it threw us into some loopholes was Liberty Red.
Yeah.
Uh, they kind of pushed off their match for a long time, and it was really hard scheduling their matches with them.
Damn.
So not only did it also happened against Bowling Green, where our Bowling Green match was actually pushed back like 3 weeks to close to a month,
What?
and I think it happened for about 4 or 5 matches in total throughout the season where we did our vetoes. We did our bans and vetoes like 4 weeks prior when they got moved back. So we actually
Yeah.
picked vetoes 3 weeks prior to when we actually played them.
That's insane.
And we kind of had to just pull stuff out the bag for that because obviously our map pools have changed
Yeah.
with how we've improved. So we kind of just had to go with the flow. It was definitely a frustrating season, but we grew as a team even throughout all the turmoil and stuff.
This is the gauntlet. So I'm gonna start asking you some, what I'm saying, some questions. You know what I'm saying?
Ready
Particularly
for it.
personal questions. So with your captain, I think Dragon Set, right? That's his name,
Dragon
or
Storm.
Dragon Storm. What's called? What was this? Could you like elaborate from your perspective at least the situation where Liberty Red, what's called, wanted to offer you guys their spot, knowing they couldn't play in playoffs, which would give you from the ninth seed, not making it to playoffs to like the fourth seed or whatever, however the CCL would have gone about that. Can you elaborate from your perspective, at least?
So we were kind of in the dark at the time.
Yeah,
We didn't really know much information about it, and we kind of just had to wait and see what would happen for the end of the season. Obviously, we knew that we had to beat Bowling Green in order to make it to playoffs,
yeah,
based on the choke that we had against Liberty Red. Lost around 11 map 2, blew
damn,
him on the dom. Had literally the perfect setup on Hackney to pull it back, and then we went 4 down and lost it, map 4, and then we lost around 10, map 5. So that one stung. When it comes to the spot, it wasn't Curb that reached out to Oliver regarding that spot. Like I said, we were having trouble communicating them for the match. It wasn't. They had really had a lack of communication with us when it
yeah,
came to like scheduling our matches. So I'm assuming it was Heat. Even like I think I was in contact with him. Like he's like keeping up the vibes for the rest of the season for you guys. But yeah, I don't have full confirmation, but I would assume that it was Heat that contacted Oliver about taking the spot. And in regards to his decision, we know that he was fed up playing the game.
yeah.
He wasn't happy playing the game, and he made that personal decision that he didn't want to play. And towards the end of the season, I wouldn't say their morale decreased, but their will and want to play the game after it was already over kind of just went out the window. And
Damn.
I don't blame him for it. This game is very frustrating at times, and it was very tasking season on everyone. But yeah, unless you want me to elaborate more.
Nah, that's pretty good. Hey, you're not hating on him for it. You understand why he chose what he did. Um,
Yeah.
um, what playoff team in your division do you feel like was your easiest matchup? Yeah,
It's a good question. Obviously, unfortunately, we didn't play against Uni.
yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't play against Uni but dang, that would have helped.
I'd probably say Liberty Red. I mean, they didn't even play in playoffs because obviously their situation
Yeah.
uh, going in where I don't know the full situation, but I feel like one of their players just didn't want to play and they couldn't get a
Oh,
fifth, and they didn't
damn.
have the desire to even try and find a fifth, so they just didn't play.
All right, so Liberty Red, better bet. Out of the CCL, bro, name 2, 3 players that you find like probably like your easiest kill. You know what I'm saying? Like I asked Forsky this question. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Easiest kill. Ooh. Okay.
yeah. So like you catch them sprinting all the time, or a player that you just know for a fact like if they're on the map, it's chalked for them.
I definitely have to say Turkster from St. Clair. That was free licks during that Ramaza.
Whoa. Okay.
I don't know how we pulled that one out the bag, but we did.
Yeah.
We were getting outslayed by like 35 kills that map, and everyone else on his team had over like 30 kills, and he barely got like 11, I think. So
Oh my gosh.
I definitely have to say him. And then I'd probably say anyone from the lesser tier teams, that being like Marquette, Shawnee State. Um, my gun skill throughout the season wasn't really on par with anyone else.
Yeah.
It was kind of lacking, and that's kind of when I had to put in the individual time to try and make that up in order for us to just improve as a team. Because to get more kills, it's easier to play the game.
Big facts. So any dang, what should I was gonna say like any complications with the roster during the season. So like let's call it y'all almost had to like forfeit a match or a player was, I don't know, it was just a weird, like a player's internet went out or something. I don't know.
There wasn't really specific problems with forfeiting any matches. We ended up
Yeah,
playing out every one of our matches. Uh, like I said, we just had to push them back like 3 weeks, close to a month, and it kind of just screwed everything up with
that's
vetoes.
insane. So did y'all wait? So in that time, did y'all play any other team? Like, I mean, obviously, but did y'all like skip weeks without playing teams? Then is that what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying?
Um,
I
I
mean,
think there
that's
was 1 week where we like all had midterms that we
yeah.
just couldn't really play anyone till the weekend. I think we did a doubleheader on a Saturday where we had to
Damn,
push it off. There was 1 week where I had to play 3 teams. I think it was like Tuesday, Thursday,
dude,
Saturday. So
that's tough.
yeah. Um,
All right.
in regards to like in answering your question about rosters, or at least our roster and any complications,
Yeah,
there's we did not only were we trying to like mesh as a team because I kind of came in week 2 of the season, whereas like everyone else got practice through like starting in the beginning of November.
yeah.
So we kind of were like we're building our team during the season and throughout the season, whereas everyone was built up before the season. So
Damn.
it's always a big like what if for our team. What if we had more time? Especially on my part. I was happy with how much I improved during the season
Yeah.
in that short amount of time. Um, but yeah, we did not practice S&D that much at all. Uh, it didn't help that we didn't have all the gun skill aside from like uh, Eddie really just putting in consistent performances. Uh,
Yeah.
kind of pretty much got to thank him for the hard carry throughout the season. Um, but yeah, we kind of played more methodical, I'd say,
Yeah.
compared to other teams. A lot of other teams relied on gun skill, whereas we relied, I wouldn't say on intelligence, but we kind of won based off rotations where we
Hey,
could still get outslayed by like 20 to 30 kills, but we'd be maximizing every second of the time that we have in hill, regardless if we're getting pieced out of it or not.
see, and at the end of the day, bro, that's what matters. Playing the game correctly, not kill horn, right? So you've seen like the top 10 players in the CCL from like divisions from like each of the 4 divisions, right?
Mhm.
For you personally, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you've played. Obviously, we've all played in the CCL. Like, who do you find to be like your top 3 most overrated players? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, jeez. Got to be one of the guys in Concord.
Word.
I'd probably say Red Chase.
Yeah.
Um, he, I feel like he didn't have to put up the consistent performances that his teammates were putting up throughout the season
Yeah.
in order to pull it through for his team. And props to the Concord team for having the season they did, but I feel like he was lacking in that productivity category.
Yeah.
Um, overrated player. Yeah, I'd probably say there's a lot of teams. Uh, familiar with all the players on all the teams. I wouldn't say anyone on Tamu. They pretty much all deserved it with pretty much how they're
Yeah.
trying to make it in the scene.
They're actually disgusting. Yeah. 100%. Hmm.
Maybe
You want to go?
I wouldn't even say if he's overrated, but maybe Godfather. I don't know on Arizona State.
You think he's? Ugh, I don't
Effectini
know.
put in a shift for them throughout the season.
Yeah. 100%.
They,
Yeah.
they were pretty nasty, but if we happened to get Liberty Red spot and we played them, I think we would have pulled it out against Arizona State. Yeah, but that's just me during the
Word.
season or
Say,
during the playoffs.
say Godfather. Wow, that's really surprising. Uh.
Props that he brings the vibes to everything. I'm not trying to call him out or anything, but
Yeah.
compared to the players on his team, I don't know, he's behind sometimes.
Okay. So you got Red Chase. You got Godfather. Boom. Anyone from like? I mean, to narrow it down. I'm just gonna say like, How about your division? You know what I'm saying? Like any players at that top 4 spot that you're like, wow. I mean, aside from Turkster, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's kind of weird because, like, in our division, there's a lot of underrated players
Yeah.
compared to the rest of this the CCL.
Uh, I mean, if you want, we can just ask for like, yo, next question. Underrated players. You know what I'm saying? So, all right.
Yeah, I can do that.
So moving on. Top 3 underrated players in any division. You know what I'm saying, or just overall in the CCL, I guess.
I mean, compared to the top teams, I was really impressed with Carlton, with how
Yeah.
much work they put in. 47 and Hawk. I wouldn't say they're underrated,
Yeah.
but I think some of the plays that they had went unnoticed. In terms of our division, Priestley was a real hard K, I feel like, for St. Clair.
Yeah.
So props to him for that. Must have sucked losing in that reverse sweep fashion, but you know, they still managed to pull out their way into playoffs.
Yeah.
And in terms of like consistency, I'd probably say Plasmid from Butler or Joey Plasma. He put in consistent top numbers, top
Yeah.
slaying for his team. And we actually got 3-0 by them, a hot 3-0 during the season. So he's the backbone for that squad.
Yikes, the backbone. Damn. All right, he's the MJ of that squad. I like that. All right, so we got Plasmid, we got Priestley. Um,
And you got, I'd probably say Hawk, because 47 is more.
you say Hawk? Yikes, I don't think he's underrated. I don't know, but it's all good. Um, can you hear the background?
A little bit. Actually,
Anyways,
if we're talking underrated, I guess Hawk is, because like I said, I don't know many of the.
yeah.
I don't know a little bit or a good amount of players in the CCL. I'd probably say Affectini then compared to the top tier teams.
All right,
Affectini
all
really
right.
put in consistent slaying as a sub throughout the season.
I can agree with that. So Factini, Plasmid, and Priestley. Okay, bet. Um, this is the gauntlet. You know what I'm saying, per se. So who do you feel is like the antagonist for like you? You know what I'm saying? Like who do you feel is like your antagonist? Like there's no one. I mean, obviously you said you didn't beef with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? But who do you feel like was the guy like you know what I'm saying? Like the antagonist to like your story?
To our CCL season or on our team that was an antagonist towards other teams?
Um, towards your team specifically. It's
We didn't really have many teams gunning for us throughout the season just because I don't know if we weren't like people didn't really have high expectations for us
yeah,
going throughout the season, us being like considered the B team, which
yeah. There's always that morale.
yeah, which it wasn't that sort of vibes per se throughout the entirety of the season, but there was definitely points that like we were considered the B team for sure.
Yeah,
Um, we didn't really have many rivalries with any of the teams, like I said, but there wasn't too many antagonists for us
was there
throughout the
any?
season. Besides Concord, just because there was the constant battle between Concord and Orange, so I'd probably say Concord then.
All right, but any? This is kind of a spicy question. Is there any players that like grind your gears? Like whenever you see them tweet or whenever you see like, you know what I'm saying, them just do anything. You know what I'm saying? Or like they feel like their ego is like undeserved.
I mean, at least in my opinion, I thought Curb from Liberty was sometimes a little. He was kind of a kill horse sometimes.
Yeah,
And in terms of egotistical, I'd probably when it came to like tens and stuff, I'd probably say Gentry. I'd
Gentry.
probably say
Oh shit.
he had a little bit of an ego on him. like I said, I can't really say much because it's my first year competing and everything,
Yeah.
and my gun skill isn't on par to majority of the top tier players in the CCL. But from the players that I know and just like the vibes of everyone coming into the league, I'd probably say Gantry based on tens.
Damn. It's a big call out. You know that, right?
I mean, he can come after me if he wants. He might not get a shell out of me.
He might not get a shout out of me. Respect.
Yeah,
Nah, respect. COD champs, 1v1. You know what I'm saying? I know it's your first season, but which
yeah.
previous teammate are you choosing to clutch that situation out?
Which teammate of mine?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be Eddie.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah.
100% Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie's put in so much work throughout
Yeah.
the season.
Who do you think is like your duo, or do you have a duo yet?
I wouldn't say I really have a duo. On blue, it was definitely Eddie.
Yeah.
I kind of played the play style of the annoyance. I was pretty much trying to annoy everyone going around the map,
Yeah.
and that kind of opened up kills for everyone else on my team.
Oh, I
And that's
see.
kind
So
of what benefit. That's kind of what benefited my play style the best.
you're the Rambo of your team. Okay.
I am the Rambo.
Oh, damn, I am the Rambo. The statement. Okay, I like it, man. Okay, so I see, I see. So you were trying to be useful on the map. Yeah, no, I respect that because I do that too when I like when the beginning of the season because like I was not up to par either. So I was like, 'cause I was the OBJ for my team. But yeah, okay, respect. Um, when you click that Facebook post, I know it's kind of corny, but like what what came to mind when you saw that post and like was like, all right, this feels like an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I've never really considered a future in competitive COD. I've always
yeah,
enjoyed playing COD at like a higher level than
yeah.
obviously public matches. And I just wanted to be able to compete in a competitive setting. I've been watching competitive COD back since Black Ops One.
Oh damn.
So I've been a long fan, and I finally just like, hey, if I'm gonna get this option to play not only competitive COD, but not only for my college, I just had to take up the opportunity.
Dang. Uh, do you plan to continue playing in COD? Like, will you be here for the next CCL season, or will you like maybe like take a different path and see how things pan out for you? Because I mean, obviously, you know, what I'm saying we're college students. We're gonna try to finish our degrees and live our life. So how the next like year or so looking for you, brother?
Um, yeah, it's a weird situation I am with my classes, but I'm definitely gonna continue with the CCL next season.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it's gonna be an interesting turnout for tryouts and the ending roster
I like
um,
that.
for the two teams next year. And I'm fairly certain I'm going to be on blue and probably end up being the captain based off of how good the players were on orange last year.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a very interesting experience.
Okay. You're on the blue team, right? Um,
Yep.
Illini Orange. I've been hearing some things about the roster. Not too pretty things, may I add. So, what are some things that came about that were like during the season? Like, because I mean, from Worski's interview, he stated, you know what I'm saying? Oh, some players weren't dedicated to like scrimming and like other stuff. So, like, how did you see Illini Orange from throughout the year from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with Worski's statement. I'm not going to throw out names or anything. I don't need to
Yeah,
open that can of worms.
I feel that.
But there was definitely times throughout the season um, where they didn't scrim or they didn't practice for long periods of time, and that's why their season was kind of bittersweet based on their placing. Obviously, they got a pretty good placing in playoffs, but
Yeah.
they probably could have gone farther had they put in more of the time and work compared to the blue roster during the season.
Yeah. If the Illini Blue roster and the Illini Orange roster could form one super team, how would you go about like forming that roster? Not to like throw out names, it's just from your perspective, what players from blue and orange do you think would fit well together? You know what I'm saying? Like if you'd make one team.
They're all pretty similar in gun skill. Besides obviously some of the players in blue, including
Yeah.
myself. But going strictly based off of chemistry, and I wouldn't say wanting to put in the time to improve, but just the ability to, I'd say, conform as teammates. I'd probably say Crit for sure, along with Eddie. He might end up being a sub, but that's still up in the air for now. So that's a big question mark.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Travis Grinch for main AR. And I mean, I guess that, and it'd be probably either, then it'd be Rick Shufy. So that'd be the 5. It'd just pretty much be Eddie implemented in there. And versus staying on the team, unless they would put me in the roster. Yeah, but chances are I'm going to stay on blue. So that'd probably be the 5.
We've definitely called out a couple people. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, I'll tweet out a clip here or there. You know what I'm saying? Spice things up on the TL as per usual. So it was nice talking to you, Mr. PMoney. So let's go into closing statements. So like in this segment, you're gonna say like, you know, how would you, like if you got advice to anyone? Like I know it's your first year. You know what I'm saying? So like, would your advice be like towards like putting in time, or you know what I'm saying, just playing, playing your role to maybe like even past what you think your role could be, or like how would you go about giving advice to anyone that could watch this in a future video, or watch this video? Bro, hang on, I messed that up. Any advice you would give to someone, you know what I'm saying, when that sees this video in the future? Yeah.
As for advice, for any people looking to join the CCL, any new teams looking to join the CCL or looking to get their feet wet in a competitive COD, just don't expect results right away.
Yeah.
And be ready to put in the time and the work. I kind of had to put in a lot of the time shooting bots, getting my way into 10s, and you're gonna have to put in the individual time, because as we transition to 5-man rosters from Black Ops 4, it's another man on the map, and it's another piece in the puzzle, and you just got to find a way to play your role. And at least for me, all that matters is winning. KD doesn't mean anything.
Facts. A lot of people don't get that. Hopefully they'll get it in the future though.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we're going to conclude the show. You know what I'm saying? It has been episode 13 of the Gauntlet, and it has been your boy, Mr.kiddragon, and
PMoney.
Peace out.